Here we are in the truck. You know I don't like driving. If you don't, now you do. But we got to go see Country Steve. Why? It's too windy to fish down here. Country Steve says, go in the river. Don't be a candy ass. That's what he said to me this morning. So we're going to head up to the Detroit River. You know, we've done that. If you watched the video a couple of years ago during the CVID deal, we went up there and jig fish. But that's what we're going to do again. A little bit different, he says. So we're going to leave that to Steve. But kind of been a rough week. We've had horrible weather, but good fishing when we do get out. And we lost Big Head. If you guys watched some of our stuff, you know about old Bob hitting old Big Head. He didn't get on camera much because basically he hated everything, including the camera. So one of the Hook Shots videos depicts that pretty good. So you can go check out old Big Head on that Hook Shots video from way back in the day, at least 10 years ago, I bet. But nevertheless, we're headed to the Detroit River. Country Steve. Show us how to do
it. Country Steve rides again.
He's still on probation, but he did say it's been 24 months since we fished together in the Detroit River. So apparently I'm required to do that. I don't remember that part of the contract, but I don't know why you talked me into this.
I don't even know where the contract is that I signed up for.
You're being paid nothing.
Oh, again.
At any rate, Detroit River, jigging, that's what we're going to be doing. Steve, we're casting off the back of the boat even though we're in the Detroit River. So anybody that's watched that video with me and you a couple years ago, or really anybody in the river, they're all slip drifting down the current. And they're fishing a break and they're going...
Fish on.
Fish on. I interrupt this commercial for a walleye.
Identification.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'll tell you what.
They fight really good.
They really do. I like this. This is that new, I told you I wanted to try this out. I haven't used it yet. The Conquest 782. Oh, there's one with him. There's another good one with it. Oh my. Right below him, right below him, right below him.
I see it. He doesn't see it.
I'm gonna try to get both of them. I'm gonna net them. Dude, there's...
Can't get it.
Oh boy.
The fat little girl.
Oh yeah.
So these guys are slipping the current right now, and they are... I got the rod. They are catching the little males. So I am trying to find the bigger females.
Steve, I don't know why I called you Steve. It's Country. All people identify as Country. I was at the boat launch the other day, and it was just like Country Steve this, Country Steve that. I was like, gag. But we got interrupted by that fish, so that was a good thing. But you know, we're doing a lot different. We are basically fishing a little spot, and you just have these milk runs. It's like we're fishing on a lake, but we're in a river, obviously the Detroit, with current. But we're fishing it just like you would a lake.
We're just fishing these seams where these fish load up. And a lot of them, the one you just caught was a female, and she had her eggs in her still. So she's coming upstream is what I would gather.
And there's a fish with her.
And there was another fish with her. But we also catch a lot of the fish that are laying back and leaving, and they really thump it.
So
a month, they will just be hammering it. They're just eating and working their way back out of the river system.
Producer dude is at home. We have a B-League videographer, is I think the term we're going to use moving forward. We'll see how it could be C-League by the end of the day, I don't know. But so the question was, like, why are we fishing off the back of the boat? You know, explain it.
Spot locking it in the current and fishing a seam.
And so we're just letting the current work back so we don't have to fight it. We're going to work with it.
Right.
And the boat's not moving.
We're just working these jigs along the seam. And when they come off the seam, the fish usually jumps on it.
Steve, we're not using a leader. And you said you just tie right to the braid kind of out of quickness, right? Because you're going to chew a leader. But man, this water is so clear. I guess that current and everything, they just don't have as much time to think about it, do they?
No, it's an instant they hit or they don't hit.
Now, me and you both have high-vis line on. That's something that we're both using braid.
Yes.
Thin diameter, but high vis, so you can watch that line angle, see where you're at, right?
Yep.
And you went to a spinning rod here, but I know earlier you were using a bait caster, and you use a bait caster a lot.
Yeah, I'm just more comfortable using a casting. I mean, I use it because of the reel itself, because I can use a flipping switch. So I can just hit the button when I'm jigging, and I don't have to sit there and pull a line out, especially if you're going to use 2 rods when you're slipping the current.
And I mean, everybody, fish. B-League, come back.
Fish on.
And, oh, yeah, wait till you get a shot of that thing. So we got a little jig there with a plastic. So, you know, the guy at the boat launch, Steve, was like, hey, you want my minnows? And you're like, no?
Now, I
No?
tried doing this earlier in the spring, and I could not get them to hit these plastics. So we started casting the minnows in a jig, and we started catching them. But it was really slow. They weren't jumping on it.
So, you know, that guy we were just talking about, the guy at the boat launch, like, hey, do you want some minnows? I mean, nice gesture.
Yeah.
I mean, most guys here are using live minnows, and you just saw that picture of that fish. I mean, he just engulfed that jig.
Yeah.
But again, same what you started to tell me, we'll get this on camera, down on Erie when I'm guiding, it's the same thing. Early in the season, I would say water less than 40,
yes.
I carry minnows. I don't always use them.
Even if they're dead on there, they just make a difference.
They, you know, the shine or the UV or whatever that thing is. But right now, when it starts to get warmer like this.
Yeah, we're in 42, 43.
But again, even if the bite was tough today, we just came out for a couple hours, but if that bite got tougher, sometimes those minnows are what you want, even though obviously, you know, that fish engulfed that plastic, but that doesn't mean the next 10 iron or in an hour if this wind switches or whatever it may be. Have it all. That's just like a guide. You know?
That's why I have these Lakewood bags stuffed full.
You have a lot of tackle in this boat. I'm guaranteed you the boat is going 5 miles an hour slower than it should.
Yep, if you open this up, I got my jigging box with my jigging wraps.
The Lakewood Vault?
Yeah, I got the Lakewood Vault in there. Yeah.
I think he went up river. You're gonna need me to grab it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how come you didn't grab either one of mine? You guys did see that. He wants guide treatment.
Yeah,
He wanted guide treatment. Jeez, this is getting a little deep over here. Country celebrity has gone to himself that now I have to net for him too, even though he didn't net mine. Oh my gosh. Steve. Oh, country, that's twice. I lost him right at the back of the boat, and then I lost him again halfway in, and then you just tossed in front of me. You are, oh, that's where the name that we can't even say on camera comes in. Oh my gosh, I lost that fish twice. You are such a dirtbag.
This is Ross's fish, everybody. Dude's gone.
This is the smartest walleye in the Detroit River. He has absolutely bamboozled Country Steve, which takes a lot. And then you got me twice, which I don't even know what to say.
I have no idea. I set the hook on him.
I saw him. I had him. I saw him right here. I literally came out of some rocks, and we saw that on the side imaging on the bird there. And it's just like, oh man, he's right in it. And then I felt coming through, and Steve, you were right about this. I mean, this was a thump, man. This is it's got to be a better fish.
Stay right there.
We got, oh, dude, it just crushed it like a catfish would. If this is a wally gator, oh man.
You don't have your drag set? They're okay. It could be a muskie.
Dude, it crushed it.
I caught some
I don't know what it is.
smallies here, and we caught a big carp yesterday. That's probably muskie.
Oh, even better. It just crushed it.
Big muskie.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Big muskie. Don't force it. That's what the walleye are in here.
Oh boy. Dude, you know I gotta get me a picture of this thing. Country's going for the big net, baby. Country's going for the big net. I mean, I don't want to feed into the rumors about walleyes and how they fight, but I knew something was up, man. Oh, yeah. I got a feeling this is still just going to do what it wants to do for a while. Here we go, country. Here we go. Well, maybe not.
Okay.
All right, here we go. No! Dude!
Boys and girls.
Oh, boy. Whew. Oh, boy. So, I might send this picture to my buddy Pete Mania. Wow, just a crazy fight there on a ski. We're gonna get this thing in because it fought like a champ. Oh, not a giant by muskie standards,
But it might chase the walleye out of the area for a little bit.
but here's the deal. So me and Steve, aka the country, he's like, we need to move. They're not here. I think I know why they're not here. Those muskies, they eat them. Fish.
Fish on.
Do you really?
No.
Oh!
Did he cut it?
It was a little walleye. It was a little one, but dude, what are we doing here? Can I check? Can I check?
Yeah.
Can I borrow your finger and see if this will go into it?
No, yours is sharp enough.
No.
See the blood on yours?
Can I see yours?
Get you tamping. It's the way they hit it.
Can I borrow your finger? I want to see if this hook will stick in your finger. Then I probably could keep using the jig.
Yeah, it works. Trust me.
By the way, I do have something I want to say. We had a comment on there. Producer dude told me. He said, "Why does Country Steve put up with you?" And I thought, well, this is a two-way street. But he's
very big.
But then you know what he said? He said, yeah, it's always the big mouths on the little guys. I'm like, I'm 6'3", 200 pounds, bro. Psst, come get some. I mean, dude, don't get me wrong. That's a Wisconsin wall hanger. You know, it's not a giant fish. It's Wisconsin wall hanger. But, I mean, that thing fought so hard. And obviously it's the current. We're going to take a couple pictures of that before we let him go. But, you know, it's the current deal, but also, again, those rods, and you don't really have any give. And maybe I needed a reminder. I need to slow up on this too, because the braid and these rods, we're using extra fast Loomis rods.
Yeah, this is just slow. You gotta let the fish hit it. You're lifting it up and just letting it swim in the current and let that paddle do its work.
Again, I'm not saying don't use minnows. This is not a don't buy live bait deal, but they are crushing these jig heads, crushing them with the plastic on there.
We were using minnows earlier in the year, but the water's warmed up, the fish are falling back a little bit, and they're jumping on it.
Do you know what else is jumping on it? You on my spot. That's what's jumping.
Yes, I 100% am jumping the spot. So I'm casting up current now, trying to work the jig down, and it's just a different presentation. You know, these fish have gotten a little slow.
So let me interject here. This is kind of like if we were fishing a reef on the lake,
Yeah.
and me and you would be moving around to hit different angles and different ways of we're approaching. That's really no different, even though we're in a river.
Correct. They just, you know, there's more current, but the fish have fins and they move.
Because I don't want to be this close to you, and I'd feel like I'm doing a pick and roll on Country, which you don't want to do if you know him. You guys that watch these videos like, oh, I feel so bad for Country Steve. Fish with him one time.
Don't feel bad.
You won't.
Because as soon as Ross misses the fish, I'm casting to a spot.
I think sometimes even
Seen that
before.
live.
Yeah. Oh, crazy. Man, that thing was that was soaking when I lost that one. It was soaking. I just lost another one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting the bites.
He's getting the bites, and this is odd.
What?
We're in the Detroit River, and this is a struggle bus for you, but
No, not really. Not really. I've done this a long time. But I mean, you literally are casting. The only way he gets bit is when he casts over. I'm not netting this. The only way he gets bit is when he casts over me.
I didn't cast over.
I find fish wherever I go, bro.
I just stole
Wherever
your
I
fish.
go.
You missed him. I stole
I hope
it.
you lose this. I really. I hope you lose it.
No, I'm not gonna lose
Here,
it.
go under. I will scoop it, you jackass. This is what it looked like. I'll tell you what, just show that camera where that jig is at. Show them. Again, we're not telling you don't use minnows, don't have minnows, but
When fish are aggressive, why?
But here's the difference. Me and you, when we're working, we had some scum grass and some stuff. You can work so much more aggressively with these fish, you know? You know, you're always joking with me, oh, you can only troll and everything, and I hear the comments. But should we talk about the redfish trip? Because you would light me up if the shoe was on the other foot.
Of course.
I mean,
I got whooped.
donkeys. I mean,
Great trip.
now with these plastics, I mean, you've got these Lakewood magnums like literally filled to the guts with stuff.
Yeah.
So when somebody's going out and they're trying to buy some plastics to do this, 3 to 4 inch.
Yes, 3 to 4 inch. I have two different sizes. I have the 3 inch or 3.5, and like a 4 1/4.
And when things are tougher
You gotta slow your presentation down.
and smaller plastics.
Yeah.
Okay, and then as far as
And have multiple natural colors and change them out.
so most of the stuff we've got here, it's kind of like, I guess you'd call it, I don't know, you can see through them. They got sparkles. It's
Yeah. Glitter stuff like
now. What about like chartreusey stuff?
dirtier water? We're in really clean water.
Okay.
But the one you have is a little stiffer, a little bit different action, and it seems to be working. I have a very soft paddle tail, and it's not, usually it's just gangbusters, but today it's just not.
So you took the good one. You gave me the cheap, stiffer one.
100%.
We only find that out after it's almost over. But so we're both using paddle tails.
We're both using paddle tails.
What about
two different brands?
What about the the
Split tail?
Yeah.
I use those for jigging and for jigging, for slipping the current. I don't know why those seem to work better, but sometimes in the year we'll use a paddle tail. I know Chris does a lot, and they're either on it or they're not on it. But the paddle tail, it has a better swimming action when you're fishing in a current.
Puts a little thump out, so you can go really slow and get action. So
Right.
we're not going to say that twister tails wouldn't work, but that's probably not the deal for this, is it?
No.
So little boot tails are going to be your best, and like he said, some of the better plastics, which he did not give me, of course.
No, I did not.
Those are going to be softer, and those are going to work probably better in the colder water.
I gave you more of the cheaper brands. Dollar Tree stuff.
You're casting over me, Dollar Tree stuff. That's what you're like, oh, don't bring your rods, Ross. Oh, I've got it. Oh, Country's got you covered. That's what he said. That's immediately when you know, absolutely no way. Bring your own stuff.
That works here really good, and today it's working really good.
No, I actually, I dug in because you just said which one, and then I was like, I know there's something up.
I'm in the game, Ross just lost one. Oh!
Oh, good.
Twice. So.
Oh, and
I went into the.
And you ghettoed me right in top again.
Yes, I did.
And I missed him twice.
Yeah.
But I'm still working them bites, baby. But right now I feel like a baseball player. Hey, 500 will get you all-time best if we're talking baseball.
Yeah.
Cooperstown.
300.
300, you're still,
Cooperstown.
500 is like amazing. So I'm better than 500, barely.
Here.
I think, honestly, I'm gonna have to check this hook point because I'm pretty sure Country filed it down. That's what we're gonna hear about at dinner tonight. Oh yeah, I rubbed your hook there on the gunnel, and then I pushed the barbs down for you. God. Well, I just cast over Steve is what I did.
I don't blame you. But
I just pulled a Country on Country.
he thinks he did.
He's gonna go, yeah. I already know how that works.
So I changed up color. I was going with a light, more neutral. Now I went with a black, and
we lost our sun.
yeah, lost the sun. So I changed it up a little bit different profile color in the water, and caught a couple fish.
Oh my God!
That was my spot that I just got it. Just lost it.
What am I?
Twice
Dude, this is,
in a row.
That was my spot originally. Just because you took it.
We moved. No, we moved.
Just because you took it for a second doesn't mean that that's not my spot again. Look, they pulled the plastic
like trolling.
off. Just like
whatever side of the boat's hot is his spot.
Well, I mean, that's obvious. I mean, that's obviously the case. I mean, you give me the dollar store jig and everything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Come at you. I'm glad you talked to me into it. We got a short day because of weather in Erie. Came up here to Detroit River. Want to try something different jigging technique than people are used to in Detroit River. Well done. We made some adjustments, caught them good, but really, today was a little different for us, wasn't it?
Today was about Bob. Bob would have absolutely despised and hated this.
Every second of it. He would have been screaming, "You pot licker," and we can't even say most of the words he would have said.
Oh, pumpkin head. No.
And you don't ever call him Bob, you call him Big Head.
He's a big head or pumpkin head, yeah.
If you're his friend. If you aren't.
Yeah. This was for him today because I knew he'd hate it, but this was in remembrance of him. We love you, Bob.
You're okay. You just didn't really live up to expectations. That's all I'm saying. I'm not even sure we're going to fish it together after this.
It don't really matter.
Bob's getting that crazy look in his eye right now.